There's a real and pertinent reason why we should discuss this motion here tonight, and that is to make sure we always keep in mind the events in the Balkans which led to this horrific act. And that is because genocide does not happen out of the blue. It happens when intolerance and hatred go unchallenged, when prejudice and bigotry are manipulated for political gain. But we must also remember that no society is invulnerable to the politics of hate and intolerance. And I'm sure we're all shocked and concerned about the rhetoric used in political discourse at some of the extremes of politics in this country. We must do all we can to challenge that, and that is why I would like us to debate this motion tonight. The massacre at Srebrenica happened 50 years after the world said never again to the horrors of the Holocaust in the Second World War. This motion makes sure that in Cheshire, West and Chester, in our communities, we will not forget the consequences of hate and intolerance, that we will remain vigilant against these forces and take positive action to build stronger and more resilient communities, that those men and boys will not be forgotten.
I agree with everything that Councillor Mearden has said. Last week I was fortunate enough to meet Lord Blencathra. Why is he important? Well, he was actually in Bosnia-Herzegovina only very recently doing election monitoring. And what he told me about the state of that country is actually quite depressing, just how effectively it is a failed state, with evidence of hatred everywhere you go, with triumphalism being displayed from one community against another. And it's all those reasons why we need to condemn it wherever we see it, and I absolutely agree with what Councillor Mearden has said for that reason.
Well, it really struck me when I read more about the horrors that this motion talks about. It takes me back to when I visited Cambodia and I personally saw the killing fields and learned about the genocides that were committed there and the horrors that were seen. And the main takeaway I got from that and from speaking to people in Cambodia was they wanted us to learn as a society from past mistakes, and we can't let it happen again. And I wanted to say, as elected officials, we have a responsibility to challenge hate and division where we see it. Thank you.
Many people said after the Holocaust, never again, and that remains an important principle today. But never again hasn't been the reality in the years since the end of World War II. The events in Srebrenica are a testament to that. The genocide of 8,000 Muslim men and boys was a great crime against humanity and stands alongside similar appalling acts of murder that demand our respect and remembrance, but they also demand our action. The events of that time, less than a quarter of a century ago, as we've heard, are fresh and need to remain fresh in the minds of the people of Bosnia and around the world, not least because the relatives, particularly mothers, continue to find, identify and bury their missing fathers, sons, brothers and other family members. I know this Council already takes these matters very seriously. It was my privilege to attend the events that Councillor Donovan has just referred to, and has supported the work of Remembering Srebrenica in the recent past and worked hard to raise its profile. The motion sets out other important ways to continue to support and expand this work, and I'm pleased to give it my 100% support.
I'm really proud of this Council and the discussions we've had tonight, because we've shown that it won't happen here in Cheshire, West and Chester, and I'm very proud that we are supporting this motion here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.